All right, what up, what up, what up? All right, so last Thursday, so we are almost a week late on this video, but the Ohio State Buckeyes beat the Minnesota Gophers. Yeah, they're the Gophers. 45-31 in a little Thursday night contest to kick off the weekend of college football. And, you know, they only won by 2 touchdowns against an unranked team, so for Ohio State, that's not exactly the best thing to see in the world, but they got the job done, and after watching every other team play over the weekend, not too upset about it, considering most teams played like absolute shit. But CJ Stroud got his first start for Ohio State, and he had 294 passing yards. He was, I knew this a bit ago, 13 for 22 with 4 touchdowns and 1 interception. So statistically, pretty solid game. However, I think a lot of people were kind of dissatisfied with his production. Part of that probably being because we just got off of Justin Fields, who's arguably the best quarterback in Ohio State history, to be honest, and the most talented quarterback. But statistically, a pretty solid game from CJ Stroud. There were a couple missed throws that if he hit, I mean, he would have just had a fantastic game. He was deep on 2 go routes, I think. I believe that if he would have completed, he would have had like 400 yards passing on good efficiency with 6 touchdowns. So not too concerned. However, after the game, I was a little worried with the amount of play action they were running with him and the amount of short passes. They didn't have him do a lot of just straight up drop back passes. But you know, after watching the film, I think I can see why Ohio State decided to go with some play action passes and quick passes as opposed to just straight up drop back passes. With the amount that Minnesota was playing heavy against the run, those play actions were working pretty solid. So, you know, after the game, a little dissatisfied after watching the film, though. I think CJ Stroud's going to be fine. Very talented quarterback, very talented player. He's got a very talented team around him that hopefully can cover up for maybe some of the weaknesses that he has. But I'm going to go through the film here. I got 3 or 4 good plays and then 3 bad plays that I think kind of exemplify what I think CJ Stroud's good at, what he did well, and what I think he needs to improve on for his next game against Oregon, which is going to be quite a tougher matchup. At least I think it's going to be a tougher matchup. Didn't they struggle against someone? They played. So I think, did they play Fresno State? Yeah, I think they beat Fresno State by 5 points only, which, you know, not the greatest performance from Oregon. You'd want more from that, but we'll see how it goes. First drive of the game, I believe this is his second pass. His first pass was a hitch down to the boundary side. This is his second pass of the game, I believe. I'll just go ahead and let the play run through. I also got this little pointer with the mouse that'll help me kind of draw routes and stuff. Throws a nice little out route to 11. What's his name, dude? I forget. I don't know. He's not Olave. He's not Garrett Wilson, so I forget his name. But so this is a pretty simple concept. Every team runs it. You're going to have an Ohio concept up top where you have about a 10-yard, 7 to 10-yard out route by number 2 and a go route by number 1. Then on the backside here, I forget. I think they're running this kind of like hitch and go concept. Not that they're running a hitch and goes, but this guy runs a hitch, the outside guy runs a go, and I believe the rule is for most teams is that if this corner is pressed, that means he's running a go. If this corner is off, then you run a hitch. Same rule for this. If he doesn't have anyone over top of him, or if he doesn't have anyone, you know, pressed on him, or you know, this guy's not over top of him real well, then you run a hitch. If not, if there's someone pressed on him, then you run a go. But this is a quick game concept by for CJ Stroud, and I want to see him throw more of these in game. They didn't have a whole lot of these quick game concepts. They were in a lot of RPOs and play action. I want to see him run more of these quick game and mid game plays. And this is a pre-snap read, basically. He's going to have to choose if he's going to throw it to this side or to this side, because you're not going to have time to read this side and then come back to this side, you know, if it's not there. So he has to choose pre-snap what he likes. And I like the idea up here. You know, he's got a safety who's pretty far off, an inside leverage, outside linebacker, and kind of press. This looks like just straight up man right here because his corner's eyes are on, I think that's Garrett Wilson right there. So this out route is a pretty solid choice, and what the read's going to look like if he chooses to throw to this the field side. He's going to be reading this go route, just a peek at the go route. You know, if the receiver wins off the line, then maybe he could chuck the go route. If not, then he's going to come down to this out route for number 2, and then if not, then pretty much just scramble. I mean, like you're not really going to be able to come back to this concept late, but That's exactly what he does. He looks up top, completes the pass to number 11 on the out route on time, exactly where we want it to be. A little play action, throw it to him, let the receiver get a couple more yards. Great play. All right, so this is another play action play from CJ Stroud here. It's going to be more of a drop back concept, a little bit of a deeper throw. But I'm impressed by his ability to go through his progressions on this play, which is really, it's nice to see a quarterback that gets to his third read on a play. But I'll go ahead and let it run for you here. You're gonna have the running back on a little rail route and inside 9 by the outside receiver, and then he just dumps it off to the tight end on the shallow. So he does a great job of getting through his progressions here. What he's going to have? He's going to have this running back fake the handoff and then run a rail route up the sidelines. Then he's going to have this guy run a little inside 9 or inside go route. This creates, or I guess a seam, whatever you want to call it. This creates kind of a switch of verticals concept where, peek here, then look here, see if he likes the matchup. Usually you're going to get this running back especially. So this cornerback goes ahead and follows this inside 9. So you're going to get this running back one-on-one with the linebacker. And you'd like to see that running back be able to win that matchup much better. But CJ Stroud does a good job of coming off that rail route and then coming down to his tight end who is entering the vacant area right around here. So great job by CJ Stroud, makes the right read here, gets through his progression, which is impressive, as well as shows a little bit of pocket awareness, I believe, if I saw that correctly. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to describe this feeling right here where you have 3 guys rushing at you, and this may look like, oh, he's got a clean throw, like no one's gonna hit him, but when you're playing quarterback, this is scary. A lot of quarterbacks in college football will see any amount of people, any amount of guys and defenders in their face, and they'll get scared and they'll get out of the pocket. It's good to see CJ Stroud stick in there and get the ball to his third read, get through his progressions. Great job getting the ball to what is that? Is that Ruckert? Is that what his name is? I believe. All right, third good play from CJ Stroud here. They did a lot of this. I heard some people complaining that they were running too many screen passes, too many of these little smoke routes with their receivers, but I didn't mind it at all. And most of these, I believe all of them, were actually RPOs, which means that the running back and the line are blocking for a run play. So the running back's expecting the ball to be handed to him. The line is all blocking for a run play. I believe this is a zone concept. I don't remember exactly, but blocking for the run play. And what CJ is going to do is, if he likes what he sees over here, he's going to have this receiver blocking, then he's going to have Olave on a little smoke route, and he can get the ball. That's difficult with this pointer. But if he likes the matchup, he likes the numbers he has, then he can just go ahead and not hand the ball off to the running back and toss it to Olave here, let him get some yards because they have a good numbers matchup. And because this safety's back, if this safety's up on the line of scrimmage or around 5 yards, then he's definitely not going to throw this ball. Because he has 2 blockers for 3 guys, and while Olave is very talented, that's not exactly a good numbers advantage for you. However, since the safety's back, he's going to be reading this outside linebacker right here. And this outside linebacker takes steps in, which means that he's not going to be able to cover this smoke screen. Therefore, CJ Stroud goes ahead and pulls the ball out of the running back's stomach, tosses it to Olave. Olave is able to get a good 11 yards or so on this. So great job by CJ Stroud making that read. You can see that linebacker is taking steps in, and you don't really even need to see him take steps inwards. You need to just see him not rush out to guard this smoke screen. So that gives them a good numbers advantage. As you can see, they have 2 blockers for 2 defenders, a deep safety, and they have Olave with lots of room to run. So great RPO play. I always loved running this play in college. Oh shit. All right, so fourth good play from CJ Stroud. We're doing a little bit more good plays than bad plays, but he didn't have a whole lot of bad plays, to be honest. But it was an absolute dime to Olave. Olave just gets the job done at the end there. What I really liked about this play is, obviously the throw was great, but the pocket presence and pocket awareness, his ability to maneuver in the pocket through pressure and get the ball to Olave is pretty impressive. What he has here is he's going to have a little, some crossers. He's just trying to, the point of this concept is play action to the running back and to clear out this side of the field. Get a big opening here, which is exactly what happens. And you have Olave coming across on this. And CJ Stroud goes ahead, play action pass, gets his eyes over here to move these players with it, get everyone moving in this direction. And then all he has left to do is Olave just has to get over top of this defender right here. And while this defender does drop back a lot, or CJ Stroud's able to put an absolute dime. I mean, if this ball was underthrown by even like 2 or 3 yards, then this is an interception going the other way. But and this is another thing that I thought was great right here is that, he has pressure in his face. Some quarterbacks will just start to scramble. They'll say, fuck it, I'm out, start to scramble. Instead, he maneuvers in the pocket, finds his guy. And, I mean, that is an impressive throw. Again, if this is 2-3 yards short, if it's not put right on Olave, then this is picked off and going the other direction. However, even with pressure in his face and maneuvering in the pocket, Stroud is able to put an absolute dime on Olave, score a touchdown instead of an interception. Well done. So on to kind of the lesser plays, the worst plays I saw from CJ Stroud, things that I think he needs to work on. This first play, I wouldn't even really say it was a terrible play. He made the right read, did everything correct, good pocket presence. He just overthrows Garrett Wilson here. And I think a lot of that is just due to the fact that, it's his first start for Ohio State on one of the biggest college football stages you can have against another Big Ten team. You're going to have a little bit of jitters, a little bit of shakes. You're going to be a little nervous. And, you could kind of tell in this first quarter and this, honestly, the whole first half that he was a little bit nervous. He was overthrowing receivers just a little bit. But I have, the utmost confidence that CJ Stroud has the ability to make this throw. So I'm not that concerned. But it's going to be similar to that Ohio concept that we saw in the first play. You're going to have a go route from this number 1 receiver. You're going to have, instead of an out route from number 2, you're going to have this tight end instead coming across. And then I believe they do a little flat in concept over here. And then how you're going to read this is you're probably going to go 1 and then to 2 on the crosser. And then as a last resort, maybe like 3 here. You're really not going to throw this flat route unless you see it pre-snap and decide that flat route is what you're going to take. If these corners are just way off, and they just have such an open space right here, then maybe you take that flat route. But that's really not going to be much of an option on this. But, again, it's not a bad play from CJ Stroud. You just like to see him hit throws like this. If you're playing on a bigger stage or you're playing Clemson, you're playing Alabama, you're not going to get options. You're not going to get opportunities like this all the time. Also, an amazing route. Look at that cut right there. I mean, he just cuts right behind him, runs an amazing route, gets open. And then as these receivers and CJ Stroud get more comfortable with one another, I think this is completed. Also, Garrett Wilson probably catches this ball like 9 times out of 10. But regardless, I mean, you got to put this ball on him. You're not going to get opportunities like this against good teams. So hopefully he's able to put that ball on him a lot better in the future. But again, great pocket presence. He's able to move up in the pocket, stays in the pocket, even though he has a little bit of pressure on him. And he's got to put the ball on him. I mean, he probably just has some jitters because it's his first start, but got to put the ball on him. This play is probably the most concerning play I saw from CJ Stroud the entire game. He just has such a severe numbers advantage up top that he misses, and instead he just scrambles out, gets nervous under pressure. Is not the greatest protection from the line. Yes, he had someone in his face, but when you have this kind of numbers advantage up top, you got to take this route. So what the route they are running here, or the play that they're running here, is going to be a double curl flat concept. Basically, they're going to have like an inside curl. This number 2 is going to be running a curl inside. I'm not the greatest with like the official names of plays, by the way, because every team calls it something different, but they're gonna have a 3-man curl flat concept. They're gonna have an inside curl, they're gonna have an outside curl, and they're gonna have a flat. And usually this is read 1 to 2 to 3. Sometimes this can change. If this corner is playing way off, this safety is way off, and this guy's a non-factor, then you might just jump straight to the flat, which is what should have happened here. But that is normally, under a normal circumstances, how you're going to read this play. But what ends up happening is this outside backer right here, he blitzes in, and CJ Stroud has to see that and know that he has a numbers advantage up top, and he has to hit the flat route, or if the defense fucks up and this corner sits here under the flat route, he needs to hit this curl right here. But like I said, this outside backer blitzes in. He has a severe numbers advantage, and this inside backer is now in charge of covering the flat, this area of the field right here. And he has no way of getting all the way out here to guard Ruckert, I think his name is, on the flat. So CJ Stroud needs to realize this. He only has a 4-man pressure, and I think he thinks more is coming. But he only has a 4-man pressure. They did bring up a good blitz. They had an inside linebacker kind of come across, and the line didn't do a great job of picking it up. As you can see, there are a lot of guys in his face, but a good NFL caliber quarterback, and I'm not saying, I mean, CJ Stroud's a redshirt freshman, I believe, so I'm not expecting him to make NFL level throws, but when you are at this level of football, you're expected to make this play, throw it to this tight end right here, and let him, break a tackle, fall forward, and get 10 yards, get the first down. Instead, he goes ahead and rolls out, and no, not the most successful play in the world. Here's another play that I didn't like from CJ Stroud. He had 2 of these plays during this game where he threw it on the run and it was just completely off target. It was another one to Garrett Wilson, I think. I think that was also to Garrett Wilson there, actually. But the concept they're going to run here is a concept that they ran with Justin Fields a lot, where they have the quarterback just roll out of the pocket, sprint out, and they're going to have kind of a double curl or a double deep hitch, deep comeback, whatever you want to call it. They ran a lot of comebacks with Justin Fields and Olave and Garrett Wilson. But they're just going to have these receivers run basically to the sticks, turn around, and then, the quarterback's on the run, supposed to throw it to him. And I saw this twice, where CJ Stroud didn't do a great job of getting his feet to the target and getting this ball in the right spot. As you can see here, he's kind of falling away from his throw. When you're throwing on the run, you got to be running into your throw. You got to be running into your throw, and he's kind of falling back on this throw, and it causes it to be a little bit short on this pass. A missed opportunity. He's definitely open here. I mean, you got to make this throw. So just be able to get your feet set. Throw on the run and fall into your throw towards your target as opposed to falling away from it. So that is something that I saw him do twice this entire game. Throwing on the run may not be his greatest strong suit, but he's good enough in the pocket that maybe he doesn't have to throw on the run a whole ton. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got from a CJ Stroud perspective. That was his first game as a starter. I know that some people are a little disappointed because he didn't light the world on fire for 7,000 passing yards and 80% completion percentage, but he did a lot of things that showed a lot of promise. He's a very young quarterback. He's only 19 years old, which is he's not even 20 years old yet, so I'm sure he'll do great. It was his first game with Garrett Wilson and Chris Olave. I'm sure they'll get some more deep connections, and he'll be able to hit those deep balls, throw on the run a little bit better. But so far, actually some pretty promising stuff. I know a lot of people gave him some hate because he didn't pass for 700 yards, but he grew into it, and in the second half he came out and actually played really well. He made good reads on the RPOs. Didn't make a whole lot of bad reads. I actually forget what the interception was, to be honest. I think that he hit a receiver a little bit off target and it got picked, but I don't know. I didn't put that in there because I wasn't too concerned about it. But that's my analysis of CJ Stroud's game. I think he played well, got a lot of promise. I think the Ohio State's offense is going to be good once again.